Actor X plugin. Go to C drive, go to UDK, go to UDK 2010, binaries, Actor X, and choose whatever Maya version you have. I have the Maya 2011 64-bit, and I'm going to copy this. Now I'm going to have to find the Program Files, Autodesk, Maya 2011, bin, plugins directory, and paste it here. This is the best place I found to paste it. This does not work on a Mac at all. Only works on PC. Okay, with that installed, you should be able to have Maya open. So let me go in and open a file here. Okay, this file contains this. Notice there's little bits and parts in here, and this is how I kind of develop things in little pieces. That way, just like on the level design thing that I was showing you, the Necropolis level, it's made of little parts and pieces. You can use these parts and pieces for other things other than piping. So if you think about piping your house with PVC, you have a whole bunch of little tiny pieces that kind of fit together and then form, whatever you want. You can make anything out of PVC if you really think about it. So that's the same thing. This giant asset is a little bit different of a story. This giant asset will kind of have those pieces flowing into it via these holes here on the side. Okay, so this is what I want to show you is this piece. What I want to do is export it into the engine. And this looks like one of my older versions of it because some of the textures is a little off. So let me look at the UVs here. Yes, the UVs are off quite a bit. I had a couple variations of the same model. So just let me kind of line up these just for a second. There we go. I think that'll work just fine for what I'm going to be using this for. Basically, this is not a modeling course. It's more of a, how to get geometry into the engine. Of course, you've had the Modeling 1, Modeling 2 classes by now, so you should be very savvy at making things as far as like stupid little things like this. And I still got to fix some UVs. But let's look at getting this into the engine. We have that plug-in now, and it's located under Settings and Preferences, Plugin Manager. There's ActiveX, so I'm going to click that on. And I'm going to make this a lot bigger because in the engine it's going to be a lot smaller. So about right there. We'll get into the exact measurements later. It's 88 units for a 6-foot character. So, and by default the scene is in centimeters. So here, if I go in and type in scale of 88 units, this is 6 foot, so I want this a lot smaller. Maybe right about there. I'm going to name this something. I'm going to name it panel. And I'm going to go down here to Mel AX Mesh. Selected items only. Auto triangulate. And I'm going to obey the hard edges. Okay. And this is going to go inside my packet, just like all the other stuff. And it's going to be called panel. In the UDK, I can go to my same packet I did before, J. I can right click here. Well, no, I could just import panel. And I'm going to keep this same name, panel. There's my panel. Okay, perfect. How I bring in the texture is another story altogether. I do have a texture for this. Let me kind of look for that. Go to desktop. Oh, I got 2 monitors, by the way, so you're not seeing me scroll my hard drive. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to close this out, and we're going to load a texture in here. So import. Okay, so there's my texture. I'm going to make a material just like I did before. Panel material. And here, I'm going to highlight this texture, go into this, and import this in using the texture sample node. Then attach that to diffuse. So it should look like this. Incidentally, if you want to move these items around, I can hold Control and click and drag them. Check that off. Close that. And now I should have a material down here below. Well, this needs that material. So I open up that first, highlight the material, and go in here, and it has this level of detail info, element 0, and asks for a material. The material says none. So with the material highlighted, I want to click the green arrow. Suddenly the panel takes shape. I'm going to close this out. And now my panel should have a real-time update. Well, let's throw this up on a wall, shall we? So I'm going to click on a wall, have this highlighted, and add static mesh Jason Walsh panel. I can make it a lot bigger. And I could bring it out if I wanted to. Incidentally, snapping these things aren't really recommended. So if you want to take snap off, you can. There is the enable drag grid snap, and now I can really place this where I need it to be. Okay, I'm going to hit build all. And play. Alright, so there's that panel. I know it's kind of dark in this room, but hey, there's your first static mesh inside the engine. Notice I can walk through it. Okay, that's not a good sign. That means that in here I have to double click static mesh and make a very simple collision model for it. I'm going to use a 6-sided collision model, and I can view it using this. So there we go. The collision model will make it so I can't go through it. Close that out. Build all. And play in editor. Now I can't go through it. It acts as a stop. There is your first static mesh within my within the UDK. Sorry, but very exciting stuff. I mean, that's just the process. After that, it's all downhill, and it's going to be up to you to start building some pieces for the engine. Please move on to the next video.